Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DM show. Hi, Martin.
Hi, Deirdre. Great to see you and great to be back on our penultimate show of the year. It's you don't get a chance to say that word much, but it's one of my
Yes,
favorite words.
$10
But
word.
yeah,
Well, it's good to be here because today's talk with Robyn Stevens is all about the media and just figuring out who is media today and building relationships. So I never get tired of this topic.
no, I don't either. And it's really changed in the last 6 months, year, 2 years. So I'm really looking forward to talking to Robyn and hearing some of her tips and strategies on how we can kind of build those relationships in a more effective way. Now, before we introduce Robyn, you have a new course on LinkedIn Learning.
Yes, thank you. It just came out yesterday. It's the revise on my marketing strategy competitive intelligence course. And I am excited about it so brands can understand what they have to do to win the heart share and the mind share of their customers and branch out and see where they want to expand in the market and understand where their competitors are and where they can find opportunity. How about you, Martin?
I do too. I'm just going to share a link to your course first. There we
Thank
go.
you.
I have a new course on LinkedIn also on using generative AI in public relations. And it's that I think the first of its kind on LinkedIn Learning about that fully integrates AI into the PR workflow. So let me just find the
That's
link to that and copy
Martin, that
that.
is needed. My goodness, there's so much opportunity there. I know that PR professionals have, they're reticent sometimes about AI, but I know you as an instructor, I bet the way you broke it down is going to be very helpful.
Well, hopefully we'll see from the comments. So why don't you introduce Robyn?
Okay. Well, everyone, I recommend that you check out Robyn Stevens on LinkedIn. She is our expert guest today, and she's somebody who is well rounded in the media. Robyn started as, I guess she was a reporter for about 15 years in Philadelphia. And then she made that pivot over to public relations and publicist. And that really helped her to get her clients top placements in the media. And today she is somebody who strategizes around new, innovative media opportunities, helping her clients to really stand out and get their stories told through media. We're going to talk about what is media and who is media today. So I'm not going to say anything else more about Robyn because I want to bring her into the show. So welcome, Robyn
Thank you for
Stevens.
having me.
You're welcome. Great to have you.
I'm thrilled to be here. It's an exciting topic. It's changing, so there's a lot of things going on, but everybody wants to know how to navigate the landscape. So thanks for having me.
Well, navigate and build relationships, Robyn, because even in our little pre-discussion before the broadcast started, we were just saying how much media has changed. And I had mentioned that Pew report, there were 10,000 US people surveyed about their media choices. And it ends up that the 30-year-olds and under, those adults, 40% of them find their news from new influencers. So I think that is something to really think about. And maybe
Absolutely.
just on the note of influencers and media, maybe you can just give us the state of the media landscape. What do you see?
Well, it's changing very much. You have to do other platforms. So the traditional ones, everybody still wants traditional. They want to be on the Today Show. And you can get on the Today Show and Good Morning America and Good Day Chicago and Good Day Philadelphia and Good Day Seattle. And you can get in Forbes and Inc. And I have people in those outlets all the time. But you also have to maybe have a podcast and engage in other formats. Do TikTok. If you're visual and you're a chef, you should probably be on Instagram. If you're a thought leader, be on LinkedIn. Maybe Twitter's a good fit for you, or X, whatever you want to call it. Some people still like to call it Twitter. But you have to know what's a good fit for you. But you can't just say, I only want to do traditional media. That you could say 15 years ago. You can't ignore social media now, and you can't ignore the power of storytelling. Storytelling is very important because there's so much breaking news. You're against all the breaking news out there. Every day something's happening. Breaking news, breaking news. How do you get your story out there? Your story is important, but it's got to be solution based. Everybody wants a solution. How to look younger, how to lose weight, how to get rid of frizzy hair. How everybody wants a solution. So what are you telling them that's a solution? Are you telling them how to save more money? How to save money when they go to Disney World? What's your solution? If you're an expert, how are you making their life easier and better? Otherwise, you're just giving 5 bullet points. Everybody wants a solution. So it's important that you offer a solution in a story. And that way you cut above all the rest of the people, and they can actually say on TV, and this is how they do it. Joining us tomorrow, 5 ways on how to save money at Disney World. People will tune in. 4 ways to get a better night's sleep. Oh, I'm going to watch. I want a good night's sleep. You can offer a solution and something that can save their money, make it easier to get the kids out the door in the morning for school. Then they're going to book you as a guest.
Right. And it almost sounds like 4 ways to do this, 3 ways getting to that solution. Is everything shorter and tighter? You
Yes.
find it's still media snacking.
It's media, and also they want to watch. Okay, so the media doesn't just want you. They want you on the Today Show, or they want you on Good Day Chicago, but they want you to promote it. So when you put it on your Instagram or LinkedIn, it can't be 10 minutes long. First of all, they're not going to give you 10 minutes, but people watch everything in 3 to 4 minutes. In
Right.
3 minutes, tell me what I need to do to get a good night's sleep. How I can get my dog to not wet in the house anymore and to go outside. Tell me in 3 minutes. Everything's quicker. And also they want it to be viewed on their YouTube site, their website, whether you book on WCCO Minnesota or KATU Portland. How are they going to get the traction on their website? So it needs to be concise. People are busy. People have short attention spans too. But it also needs to get right to the heart of it all. Why? What are you offering me? What can I do? Should I refinance my house now? Is this a good time to invest? Whatever your solution is, and even that, you don't want to state the obvious. As I always tell a nutritionist and dietitian, don't tell me to eat fruits and vegetables. Of course I know that. Of course I know to save money. What are some fruits and vegetables I might not know about? What are unhealthy fats I might not know about? Have something in that story that makes people go, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I learned something new, something revealing, something a little catchier.
That's good. Now, you mentioned that it's harder than ever with all the different stories and breaking news out there. And when I did publicity back in the olden days, something I loved to do, some stories just aren't as good as others. And as a PR person or a publicist, you know that. But we have things called slow news days where you could get maybe a softer story placed. Is there any equivalent to a slow news day these days?
No, and there isn't even really slow news days. I used to have days too, because I did the weather for a long time. I was also did weather in Philadelphia for years. So people, you would have days where they'd be like, oh gosh, there's a huge snowstorm. All our guests are going to cancel. Can you book a guest? Once in a while, you will get that now. And one of the advantages now is everything's on Zoom. So before you had to fly to Chicago, fly to Denver, fly to be on Good Day Arizona, Good Day New Orleans. Now you can do it via Zoom. So once in a while you'll get, okay, there's a huge storm. We know everybody's going to be stuck at the airport or cancel. Do you have a guest that can do it? So I always tell my guests, you got to be pretty much ready to go at any time. So you want to take advantage of cancellations like that, because there really isn't slow news days. You just have to take advantage of cancellations. But to get around the slow news day, you need your clients to know they need to join the conversation. They can't wait for a slow day where they can say, okay, I can talk about this. This is my go time. What are people talking about? And you want to join that conversation. You love to lead the pack. And I do have a few clients that I would call them pack leaders, meaning they're saying to producers, and when I book them on TV, oh, we're going to change the conversation. We know that this is an important topic and people are going to start talking about it. So we want to change the conversation. People are going to start talking about this. If you can't do that, then at least join it and look at the conversation and say, how can I fit in? And I don't like putting a square thing in a round hole. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, because producers don't like bait and switch. They want to know, no, your expert's really an expert at this. But at the same time, you have to know what people are talking about. You can't be stubborn and say, nope, I only want to talk about this. What's going on out there, and how can you join the conversation at the very least? And that's the only way to get through a slow news day. Know what the news topics are in the world, what people care about. And honestly, it's called Google, and then join the conversation.
And Robyn, are you finding, because I know this used to work in the past, bringing a different perspective, maybe
Yes.
a contrarian view, something that isn't being talked about? The media producers, they like to tap into that.
And unfortunately, right or wrong, they like the negative.
Right.
They do. There was a topic one time that did phenomenal. And it was how to know if you're dating a loser. Not if you're dating a winner, not if you found the right guy. It's how to know if you're dating a loser. 5 foods that might shock you that's putting weight on you. Not the 5 healthy foods, but shock you. 4 ways you're wasting money that you might not even know about because it's coming automatically out of your PayPal account. You forgot you signed up for a subscription. It's almost going with the negative sometimes rather than the positive, because you would like to think people want the positive and hope, but people also, no, give me the signs. 4 ways to know someone's lying to you. That'll do phenomenal. That'll do phenomenal.
Are these
5 ways
the
to get
angles?
laid off. Everybody will read it.
Robyn, are these a part of the angles that you work on with clients when you're pitching?
I do, because I want them to know that even though you're telling 5 ways that you might be getting laid off, the signs that you might be getting laid off, and you're a career coach, doesn't mean there isn't a solution. So if you see that sign, here's the solution. You can still give people solutions and hope and positivity, but you might have to go in with a little more of a negative answer, a negative topic. 4 signs you're dating a loser. Well, here's the 3 ways that you know this isn't working out, but here's things to look for. But people have to be creative. The obvious doesn't work anymore. How to eat healthy food is not going to get you on TV. It's going to be a creative way to do it. Something that maybe you need, maybe it's even mentally. Maybe there's foods that mentally that you eat makes you think you're fuller because you're chomping more. Or things like that is clever ways to get in there. And unfortunately, even tying it to a celebrity tie-in, that sometimes can work. But it's just being practical. Thinking about, what do you care about? Like, what are you Googling at home? What do you care about? And then tying your conversation, your expertise. I mean, we all want to pick the best dog, but once we get the dog and we love him to pieces, how do we get the dog not to chew the leg of the furniture? I mean, it sounds negative, but that's what people care about. We all know to love the dog and give him hugs and kisses, but it's the solution-based things that'll work.
Right.
So
Martin, who do we have in the audience?
We have Raymond from River Edge, New Jersey, Anila
shout out
from
to
Samuel from Nigeria, Andrea from New Jersey,
Great.
Kevin from Kenya. And if any of you out there have a question, please just post it in the chat and we'll get to it. I have to ask you, Robyn, do you have like a recipe for building relationships with media or influencers? Kind of like a little, what's your secret sauce?
I do like to take meetings with people if I can. If I can go to New York, I'll take meetings with producers. The old-fashioned way still works too. But the other way is know what they really do. And that's one of the things producers have told me over the years, and same with magazine editors. Publicists will pitch me things, and I'm like, I don't write about travel. Why did you even pitch that to me? Do you even know who I am? I don't book that. I only book authors. Why would you pitch it? So know who you're pitching. Know what their area of expertise. Do they book this? Are they the personal financial expert on CNBC? Or are they the business expert on CNBC, the corporate, the investment expert? Know who you're pitching. I also tell people that morning, if you're going to do a follow-up, Google. If there's a major snowstorm in Denver, don't be saying, hey, did you get my pitch on nutrition? Are you going to book my guest? No, there's a snowstorm, an Amber Alert. Big news in that town, hold off a day. They expect you to also know who they are. And so don't just do mass pitches, because then it's going to look like you just threw it out there, anybody takes it. Be respectful, like say, and you can tie it in with something current. I saw you wrote about this last month in the Wall Street Journal about autism. I have an autism expert. We would like to join the conversation and give some insight. Actually know who you're reaching out to. I think they like that. They think they feel it's more respectful. I also think to know that you could get canceled due to breaking news, as we talked about in the beginning, or weather. And you're like, okay, not a problem. Got it. We'll book the guest later. Don't give the producer a hard time or the writer. They have deadlines. And always get your deadlines in. Don't be late. They have deadlines, so you should have deadlines. So I think it's being respectful to journalists and producers. They're wearing many, many, many hats.
Robyn, is there still the strategy where you put somebody out as a background interview? It's almost interview my client, get to know this person, and then if you want to use some of their information in your stories or invite them on your show, does that still happen?
Not very much.
No.
I will say I like one sheets. I like to say, this is my expert. This is their social media handles, because that's going to matter. Are you going to promote the Forbes article once I get you in Forbes? And Forbes wants to know, are you going to promote the article? Same with health, prevention, Vogue. Are you going to promote it? Same with the TV segments. Hey, tomorrow I'm on Good Day Cleveland. Are you going to promote it? But the other thing, I like to give them 10 topics. This is what my client can cover. And kind of give it to them, because they're not going to get the phone interview of the get to know you. That happened a long time ago. They're not. So give them 10 topics. Don't just give them 4, because they might have already done those 4 topics or think, oh God, that's so boring. Everybody talks about that. It's been done over and over. Give them about 10 ways to look at it. Freshen it up once in a while. You're going to, just like the media outlets reinvent themselves. I mean, if you looked at Time magazine 20 years ago and you found one in your house, they want to talk about AI, which you guys are experts at. They're not going to talk about social media. So even though the media outlets reinvented themselves, you have to reinvent yourself too. So maybe after a while, send out a new one with new topics that you can tackle.
And just to clarify, just want Robyn to clarify for the audience, a one sheet is one sheet that gives background, maybe where they've been placed before, where they've spoken. And do you include your topics there, or should that be separate?
I would put it in one sheet. Everybody wants it short and simple. So your bio, your social media handles, if you've done speaking appearances, so that they know you've done that as well. And then a list of your topics. This is what I can offer you. Put me in your queue, your Rolodex. This is what I bring to the table. But I would do it all in one. Some people will do 2 sheets. I would keep it concise though. You don't want anybody to be like, oh gosh, so what? They went to, this high school. Don't, keep it short and concise. Almost think of it as though if you met the producer at the Today Show, okay, or you met the producer at Good Day Nashville, and you're in line at Starbucks. And you're like, oh, what do you do? And you're waiting for your coffee. I'm the producer of Good Day Nashville. What do you do? Put it concise, just like you just told the person at Starbucks, this is what I do. Almost have that in your one sheet. This is what I do. This is why I'm an expert.
Okay.
Thank
we
you.
have a couple of questions from viewers. I'm going to start with Raymond's first. And that is, when you're, I guess, pitching media or influencers or your one sheet, how long should it be? And what are some items that should be included so that it is read by the people you want to read it?
I would say if you're posting like an article, 600 to 800 words, I wouldn't go too much longer. What it should be in the article is who or why. Why do I need to know this? I need to know because I'm not getting a good night's sleep, okay? Then what do you have to offer? Somewhere in there needs to be the solution. Almost the who, what, when, where, but the why. People need to know why. Why do I need to? Another topic that I've been pitching this recently is how to be the new millionaire. We used to think the millionaire was the person who went to college. No, trades do phenomenal. There's a lot of millionaires owning air conditioning companies and plumbing. But it's why? Well, you can make a lot of money. You're not going to be in student loan debt, and maybe that's what you want to do. But the why should definitely be a little higher up, and then the solution. But I wouldn't say too long. I would also try to look on social and see words that people are trending, kind of a few buzzwords. I know that sounds a little cheesy, I admit, but you want to get traction for your article. If you're writing an article or a post, you should have a few of those buzzwords. If that's what people are using those words, then I would include them.
Okay, that's great. We have a question from Samuel who wants to know, in about 2 or 3 sentences, how does he build relationships of mutual benefit that can last?
Again, solution. What can I do for you? First thing, I meet a producer, or if you're meeting as an expert and you're, again, an expert and you're a bullying expert and you wrote a book on bullying. What can I do for you? Now, it's not all about me. Well, book me on your show. Give me an interview. What can I do for you? And if they say, well, be ready. On standby, could I reach out to you and can you get me an article rather quickly or an interview rather quickly? Say, yeah, 24/7. Obviously, it's not quite 24/7, but no, I can do that. I can talk about bullying in the workplace. I can talk about kids getting bullied at school, signs that maybe parents don't realize their kid's the one is the actual bully. But what can I do for your magazine, your TV show, what can I do for you? It's not about, well, hey, book me. What can I do for you to make it easier for you and to make it more concise? The other thing too, that producers, because they're wearing so many hats, give them bullet points so that they know right away they can make a full screen graphic with the bullet points. Provide them the bullet points. I mean, you don't have to make the graphic. They're going to make it at NBC or CBS, but they love it when you say, here's 4 bullet points, or here's a graphic that shows possibly the effect of inflation. If you do their work for them, they will appreciate it. So I think what you can say is, no, I can help you too. This is a win-win situation. Yes, I like being on TV and I want to get my book out there, but how can I help you? And also maybe know the city. If you're trying to reach out to Cleveland, what's the concerns in Cleveland, Ohio? What jobs are needed in Cleveland, Ohio? It might be entirely different than in New Orleans or Birmingham.
Robyn, should you share information in between pitches? So, for example, you want to build a relationship with a journalist, a producer, an influencer. If you're working on something, can you just share it in between a pitch so that they have it and it's just useful information?
Yes.
Do you think that works?
Especially a study. If you have a study and you're like, hey, I just wanted to share this with you. This study came out in the University of Geneva, or this study came out. Share it. Or if you have an idea, it's almost like exchanging information so that you're their go-to. They're solution-based. So I work with Yahoo Business a lot. One of my clients is often on Yahoo Business. We give them about once a quarter, just things that we think are coming up this year in business, whether it's tariffs, whether it's trade talks, different things, housing market, different things, different years. But we just send it, no, nothing in return. Eventually they do book the guest, but you're kind of saying, I'm here for you. I think of these topics and they're going to be coming up. And, I'm thinking ahead of what could happen in the next 6 months. And, here's a few things to solve the problem.
Great.
We have another question. We actually have 2 questions from Chester, who hails from Ghana. But I'm going to just do one because I think it's one on everyone's mind, and that is, what role does personalization play in creating an effective pitch, and how can brands tailor their approach to align with the preferences of specific media or influencers?
For brands, okay, this is a good question because this is brand specific. Brands, I think, need to know the audience. Is the audience male based? Okay. Or is it female based? Is it younger based? Is it women 35 to 55? Is it an affluent audience? Okay. Tailor your pitch to that. Is it, okay, we'll use skincare, for example. If I was pitching a skincare brand, my pitch is going to be different for an area that people should be using a lot of sunscreen and might have sun damage. It's going to be different if I'm pitching an area in the country, a pocket in the country, and I'm working with prom dresses. Okay, I'm going to go through certain areas where people are going to spend more on a prom dress, and proms are bigger. Okay, so you really want to tailor your brand, know the audience and who you're reaching. You don't want to sound like you're everything to everybody. So if you're skincare, which problem are you solving? And so know your brand, and that way you kind of fit the conversation. I also say for brands, one thing to do is realize you might not get on TV solo. So let's just say you have a skincare. Okay. Robyn Stevens skincare. Okay. And I tried to get on TV. They're going to turn me to ad sales because it's going to look like a commercial. 2-minute segment on my skincare products. That's a commercial. And you're going to spend a lot for that. Even if you go to a local TV market, they all have ad sales departments. They'll send you straight to ad sales. Have your expert go on there. Ways to look younger. Skincare, drinking lots of water, maybe some lemon on the table, maybe a satin pillowcase so that you sleep better at night, maybe some lavender so that you get a good night's sleep and you don't have dark circles. Make it so that it's a conversation, not just brand, brand, brand. Otherwise, they'll say, go to QVC. And nothing's wrong with QVC. QVC is great. But you, as a brand, it's going to be very difficult to get out there solo. And then you could also try with the founder, if the founder has an interesting story. They do love backstories. So the founder said, I invented this. And I think Shark Tank. Those people go on those shows with fascinating stories of why they invented it. My child fell down a flight of stairs, so I invented this railing to help kids. If your founder or the CEO has a backstory, try to go with the backstory, because if you're just pitching a product, they're going to send you ad sales right away or not even book you. And that's where you might be better with going with an influencer on TV who's going to talk about not just your product. And sometimes it's good to be with another product because then, okay, so think about it. You're a skincare company, but you're with a well-known shampoo company. Well, they promoted that segment too. So did the skincare company. So did this company that made the satin pillowcase. Oh, well, you got a lot of cross promotion then. So it might be better to be in a good roundup on TV rather than solo, because then you're benefiting from everybody who's promoting.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
Martin, how are we doing on time and questions?
We have time for one more question from you, Deirdre. Like, Robyn, when we were talking before, it does fly by.
It does, but it's fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are we ready for that parting question? All right. Well, Robyn, you've shared so much information, but maybe you can just leave us with your overall parting advice when trying to build a relationship with media, influencers. Please help.
Parting advice is, first of all, know why you want to be on TV. So why do you want to be in the magazine? Like, ask yourself, why do I want it? That'll make you already concise. I want to be on it because I really want to make people aware of this, or I offer a solution. Building relationships with the media, don't give up. They're busy, and don't drive them crazy. Don't keep following up. Oh my gosh, that's probably the number one thing producers are like, oh, they drive me crazy. They're busy. Follow up, give them a break or two, give them a couple days or two. But you have to go in as a solution to the producer or a solution to the magazine editor. But the other thing is, do your own homework. Don't expect them to do the homework. You do your homework. If you want to talk about this, you look up the media outlets and the right person to pitch to. You do these mass pitches out there, they're going to go straight to spam because they're going to even come up as spam. And then, as you guys know, and then they're going to be like, oh, and I've had producers tell me this, Robyn, they don't even spell my name right. And I'm Justin, not Justine. And they didn't do this right. Get to know them and do a little bit of homework, and then you'll get through to them. And again, you don't need to be on every outlet. I have clients that are like regulars for CNBC or the Today Show or CBS Minnesota. That could be good enough. I mean, not good enough, but that's really huge. Be a regular contributor. Try to get in there more often, offering advice, but you have to have solutions and advice.
Excellent advice. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's a wrap. What do you think, Martin?
Yeah, it is. And, Robyn, when you say really don't be a pest to media, that's so important.
Oh, it really is.
Yes.
Oh, it is. Don't be a pest. That's just it. That would probably be my best advice. Don't be a pest. And again, keep it concise. Nobody wants this long. No one wants to know where you went to high school and that you were the football captain, unless you're going on TV and talking about football. So keep it concise. And again, gratitude. And the best way to show gratitude, don't send a gift. They don't need more popcorn in the newsroom. They don't need more chocolate chip cookies. Your gratitude is promoting it on social. Then they will love you back. If you promote it on social, hey, had fun. I was at CNBC and I took this photo, and hey, watch my segment tomorrow. And hey, great tip. That's how you give gratitude. Don't send cookies. Do it with social media. Thank them then.
You'll get the invite back if you
Yes.
share, if you're a good sharer. Definitely. All right. Robyn, thank you so much for all the
Thank
information.
you. I
the
appreciate
insights.
this.
It was really good. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining. Hope you learned a lot from Robyn. And Martin, we'll see everybody next month.
Yep. See you in a month. Thanks, Robyn. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.